Beneath the surface of our oceans lies a world we were never meant to see, a realm of impossible, crushing pressure, of absolute cold, and of endless, perfect darkness. It is a world where light dies, and where life, in response, takes on forms that shouldn't be possible. As we descend, we leave our world behind. We cross the sunlight zone, the familiar world of reefs and whales. Then we enter the twilight zone, a vast blue gloom where the sun is just a faint memory. Here, life becomes strange. The glass squid drifts by, its organs barely visible, a ghost against the blue. The glass octopus is almost entirely invisible, a phantom whose only solid features are its eyes. Then we fall deeper. Past 1,000 meters, all sunlight is gone. We have reached the midnight zone, a realm of eternal night that stretches down for miles. Here, there is no dawn, no dusk, only a cold, crushing, stable blackness. We've sent rovers to Mars. We've mapped distant galaxies. But this world, the deep sea, we've explored less than 5% of it. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about what's happening 6,000 feet below our own oceans. Here, in the endless night, life has invented its own light. It's called bioluminescence. And in this world, light is not a memory, it is a weapon. The dragonfish patrols the black, using a private red searchlight that only it can see. The anglerfish, a creature of nightmares, dangles a luminous lure to draw in unsuspecting prey. Other creatures, cloaked in new, ultra-black skin, absorb 99.9% of all light, becoming living holes in the dark, invisible to both predator and prey. This is the last, true frontier, a place of pure mystery, a silent alien world that has existed untouched for millions of years. Until now, a new light is cutting through the darkness. It is not the soft, blue-green glow of a living creature. It is the harsh, white floodlight of a 100-ton machine. It is the sound of hydraulics, of grinding metal, a roar that tears through a silence that has reigned for eons. This isn't an exploration vessel. It's a harvester. This is the story of the largest, most controversial gold rush in human history. It's happening right now, in a place you've never seen. It's not on the nightly news. It's not being debated in public. It's being run by a global organization you've never heard of. And it's all being done in our name, to save the planet. But the scientists who've spent their lives in the dark are warning that this solution is a catastrophe in the making. This is the race to mine the deep sea, and it's a race against time. The victims of this story aren't people, not yet. They are the scientists, and by extension, all of us. Picture this: a cramped control room on a research vessel bobbing in the middle of the Pacific, thousands of miles from the nearest land. A small team is huddled around a monitor, watching a live feed from a robot submarine 2 miles below them. This is the world of Dr. Diva Amon and other deep-sea biologists like her. For them, the abyss is not an empty void. She describes the abyssal plain not as mud, but as a living library. For years, scientists like her have been the only humans to witness this world, and what they've found has rewritten the rules of life. She explains that in this world, time moves differently. We are finding animals, like the Greenland shark, that can live for over 400 years. They are born before Shakespeare writes Hamlet, and are still swimming in our oceans today. We are finding entire ecosystems at hydrothermal vents, black smokers that spew superheated, toxic chemicals. And life is thriving on it, not on sunlight, but on chemistry. We are finding microbes that eat methane and metals. This is an alien world on our own planet. As one scientist put it, 90% of what you find in the deep is new to science. But that sense of wonder, that thrill of discovery, has now turned to a sense of dread. The scientific community is in a desperate panic. They are in a race to discover life before the machines destroy it. For every one new species they manage to find and catalog, corporations are mapping thousands of square miles for extraction. Dr. Amon has been vocal, saying this isn't just about destroying a single habitat. She says, "It's like burning a library before you've read a single book." Imagine finding a lost pyramid in the jungle, a wonder of the ancient world, and instead of studying it, the first thing you do is hook up a bulldozer to pull it down for its bricks. That is what this is. The scientists are not arguing for a permanent ban. They are simply fighting for a pause, just a pause, to understand what we are about to do. To understand the crisis, you have to understand the contrast, the then versus now. For all of human history, the deep sea was then. It was the realm of mystery, of sea monsters, of the unknown. When we did finally get a camera down there, we found that vampire squid, which, despite its terrifying name, isn't a predator at all. It survives by catching the gentle, marine snow, tiny particles of waste and dead plankton drifting from above. It is a delicate, fragile web of life, all based on this slow, gentle snowfall from a world of light it will never see. We found the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the underworld. It is the deepest part of the ocean, nearly 11,000 meters down. If you dropped Mount Everest in, its peak would still be a mile underwater. The pressure is over 1,000 times what it is at the surface, enough to crush steel. And yet, we found life. Translucent, gelatinous snailfish, the deepest living fish ever discovered. They look too delicate to exist, but their bodies have evolved to be almost jelly, without rigid bones. Their very cells reinforced by unique molecules that keep them from being crushed. They thrive in conditions that should be impossible. For decades, this was a place of pure science, of awe. That was then. Now, it is a place of business. It is the prize. The target isn't gold or diamonds. It's something far more valuable for the 21st century. Polymetallic nodules. They look like simple potato-sized rocks, scattered across the abyssal plains like a cobblestone street. But they are a geological miracle. They have grown molecule by molecule over millions of years, forming around a shark's tooth or a fishbone from the time of the dinosaurs. They are a process slower than the building of mountains, growing just 1 centimeter every million years. And they are packed with the metals we are told we desperately need: cobalt, nickel, copper, and manganese. The Earth's crust, over eons, has done the refining for us, concentrating the building blocks of our future into a single, easy-to-grab rock. This is the great, terrible irony of the story. These are the battery metals. They are the raw materials for the green revolution. We need them for our electric car batteries, our wind turbines, and our solar panels. The car you might drive to feel good about your carbon footprint may soon be powered by the destruction of the planet's largest carbon sink. The conflict is unavoidable. To save the planet above, the one we live on, corporations are now arguing that we must destroy the planet below, the one we've never even seen. So, who is pushing this? The strategy is coming from a handful of powerful new companies. The most public-facing one is called the Metals Company, or TMC. Their marketing is brilliant. You can see their high-production videos online. They show sleek, animated graphics of robots gliding over the seafloor. They have spent billions of dollars and over a decade positioning themselves as a green solution. Their official line goes like this: land-based mining is terrible. It creates deforestation. It uses child labor. It pollutes fresh water. They are not wrong. They argue that deep-sea mining is the better alternative. They call the nodules a battery in a rock. Their CEO has said this is the only way to meet our ambitious climate goals, that this will solve the single biggest bottleneck to the clean energy transition. The plan, they say, is not mining. It is harvesting. They will use a floating collector that gently lifts the nodules off the seafloor, leaving everything else untouched. A clean, neat harvest. It sounds logical. It sounds even responsible. But there's a problem. A massive global organization you've never heard of is helping them do it. And it's all happening in the shadows. This isn't happening in US waters or Chinese waters. It's happening in the high seas, the vast stretches of ocean that belong to no one, and therefore to everyone. This area, more than half the planet's surface, is governed by a little-known UN-affiliated body based in Jamaica called the International Seabed Authority, or the ISA. The official line from the ISA is a noble one. It was founded on a utopian idea that the seafloor is the common heritage of mankind. The idea was that the riches of the deep belong to no one, and therefore should be used to lift up the poorest nations on earth. The ISA is tasked with protecting this common heritage and creating the rules for mining. But here is the harsh reality. An investigation by journalists at the LA Times and New York Times revealed a deeply conflicted system. The ISA is funded by the very mining contractors it is supposed to regulate. Its budget is a black box. Its mining code, the rulebook for the largest extraction in history, is being written with direct input from the very companies that stand to profit. At its meetings, observers and scientists have been kicked out of negotiations. The future of the last untouched wilderness on Earth is being decided in secret. And the ISA has already handed out exploration licenses covering an area of the ocean floor larger than the entire European Union. Over 1.2 million square kilometers are already claimed. For years, scientists in dozens of countries, including France, Germany, Canada, and Brazil, have been begging the ISA for a moratorium, a temporary pause. Their argument is simple. How can we write rules to protect something when we don't even know what's there? We need time to study it first. But the mining companies found a way to force the ISA's hand. A tiny island nation in the Pacific, Nauru, sponsored the Metals Company. Nauru has a population of 12,000 people. It has no ability to mine the deep sea. It is a sponsoring state, a flag of convenience, providing a legal backdoor for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. In 2021, Nauru triggered an obscure 2-year loophole in the ISA's own charter. This loophole essentially said that if a country wants to start mining, the ISA has 2 years to finish the rules. Those 2 years expired in July 2023. The rules aren't finished. The world's scientists are screaming, "Stop." But the loophole has effectively opened the door. The ISA is now legally obligated to start accepting and potentially approving the first ever applications for full-scale commercial exploitation. At the last ISA meeting, the debate was furious. The moratorium vote was blocked. Countries were offered deals in back rooms. This is the great carve-up of the 21st century. The green light is turning on, whether the world is ready or not. Now we come to the evidence. What will this mining actually do? The company's promise of a clean, gentle harvest is falling apart under scientific scrutiny. The first problem is that these nodules are not plucked. The plan is to use machines the size of 3-story buildings. These machines will crawl the ocean floor, vacuuming up the top 4 inches of the seabed, nodules and all. They will strip mine the abyss. Everything in their path will be killed. The second and much bigger problem is the sediment plume. These machines will churn up massive clouds of fine silt and clay. This silt is not like sand. It's like fine dust. It doesn't resettle. This plume will be pumped back into the water, where it will drift for hundreds of miles. This sediment is not just dirt. It's clay. It's toxic. And it's full of heavy metals that have been locked away for eons. The mining process will release them. Think back to the marine snow, the delicate food that drifts from above, feeding the vampire squid and the entire ecosystem. Experts testify that these sediment plumes will block that food. They will clog the gills of fish. They will smother creatures that can't move. Imagine a dust storm, but one that never, ever settles. A permanent cloud of silt, miles wide, drifting for months, that blocks the only source of food from ever reaching the bottom. It will be a choking, toxic cloud that could last for decades, suffocating life far, far outside the actual mining zone. We are looking at the desertification of the abyss. And then there's the noise. A constant, grinding, 24/7 industrial roar in a world that has only known silence. This noise, scientists warn, could travel hundreds of miles, disrupting the behavior of whales, dolphins, and other animals that depend on sound to navigate, hunt, and mate. This isn't like a forest that can grow back in 50 years. This is where the data becomes terrifying. We are talking about 400-year-old sharks. We are talking about ecosystems that grow at a glacial pace. The nodules themselves took millions of years to form. You can't replant a creature that lives for 4 centuries. You can't restore an ecosystem that takes 1,000,000 years to form its own foundation. Irreversible is a word scientists rarely use. Here, they use it constantly, but the implications get even bigger. This isn't just about some weird fish. This is about the carbon sink. The abyssal plain is the largest and most stable carbon capture system on Earth for millennia. It has been locking away CO2 from the atmosphere into the sediment. The ocean floor is not just a floor. It is a blanket over the world's largest store of carbon. These mining machines are about to tear that blanket apart. Scientists warn that disturbing this blue carbon could release gigatons of methane, a greenhouse gas 25 times more potent than CO2. Here is the great catastrophic irony. In a rush to get green metals to solve climate change, this mining operation could disturb that sequestered carbon and trigger a feedback loop that accelerates climate change. And beneath this green argument is the hard, cold reality of geopolitics. This isn't just about science. It's about global dominance. China currently holds 18 of the 31 exploration contracts. Russia is right behind them. The US, which ironically never ratified the Law of the Sea Treaty, now finds itself on the outside looking in. This has created a military and economic panic. What if China gets all the batteries? This fear is overriding all scientific caution. It's the ultimate green sales pitch. It's a way to rebrand an old-fashioned resource grab as environmental stewardship. And it's working. We are left at a crossroads. We return to the images from the dark. The glass octopus, a creature of perfect invisibility. The snailfish in the Hadal zone, thriving under impossible pressure. The dragonfish with its secret light. They are not just creatures. They are answers to questions we haven't even learned to ask. How does life adapt to extremes? How does it thrive without light? What secrets to medicine, to materials, to our own origins are locked in their DNA? For decades, the deep sea was a mystery. Now it is a commodity. We are making this choice right now, in secret, in meeting rooms in Jamaica, in our name, when the last frontier is gone, and the green energy it promised fails to stop the planet from warming. What will we tell ourselves? That it was worth it? That we had no choice? Or will we finally admit that we burned the library and we didn't even bother to read the title of the book? Like, subscribe,